You done warming up? Hope you stretched. Look! You can see where they dug up the...
Hello, everybody. Oh, wow. I'm awake, I swear. All right. So, okay. I think things are looking normal here. Okay, got the blue sky skeet out. What do you call them? Posts, I guess? I don't know. I miss Twitter, and just calling them tweets, it was just a little bit better. Speaking of which, maybe I should start doing Twitter announcements again. Oh, good old Twitter. All right. Let's do it. Boom. All right, so live on Twitter and Blue Sky. Yay. All right, so the social media bullshit's done. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. I am StreamCrush as always. Today we have more of the same as yesterday. Looks like the Sony State of Play got announced, which is pretty awesome. Let's see here. When exactly though? I just saw it. Oh, here we go. All right. June 4th. So we're looking at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. CEST. Well, that sucks. I will be working during that time. Yeah, it turns out I'm not a millionaire because I became a Twitch streamer. So, shock, right? I'm definitely going to be covering this. Looking forward to it, to be honest. I see it's going to run for like over 40 minutes. That is a really long time for the State of Play. They generally last like maybe 30 minutes at the most. So I don't know what the hell they're going to cover. It says, watch live for news and updates and must-play games coming to PS5. The show highlights a selection of great games from creators across the globe. Which is weird, because Summer Game Fest is coming. So what can they show that wouldn't, like, I'm assuming there's going to be a bunch of overlap, but like, what could you show? I don't know. Hold on a sec, taking a drink. A&W root beer. You're my lifeblood. All right. Sponsor me, A&W. I'll pimp your root beer all the time, man. It's the best root beer. I don't care what anybody says. A&W is the best root beer. I know that there is some interesting things that tend to get announced during PlayStation directs, I guess, whatever, state of plays, whatever you like to call them. Let's be honest, they're going to get announced there before they get announced anywhere else. One of those is definitely going to be Resident Evil 9. I mean, come on. Let's not kid anybody here. It's definitely going to be Resident Evil 9. Like, that's not even a question. It's going to happen. So, yeah, it's coming. Resident Evil 9 is coming. You've heard it here first. I'm willing it into existence. I'm excited. I'm really curious to see, the Ethan Winters story is done. Maybe you might see his daughter appear. But to be honest, like, we haven't seen Sherry and Wesker's kid and Moira's, like, or Barry's adopted kid. Like, we haven't seen all those characters in a while. So who knows? I don't know. Resident Evil is really weird with its cast of characters. It's a big cast, and they tend to only use the people outside of the main cast, only a little bit here and there. So I'm not sure. Maybe we'll probably see some new characters, I'm guessing, but like, I hear this one is going to be Jill and Leon focused. So, maybe that's what we should do for predictions, huh? Let's flip that over. Oh, so there. That's the Summer Games Showcase thing. We're gonna be getting that going again here. Finishing that off today. Told you I was coming back to it. All right. Okay. All right. So let's get this guy over here. All right. So knowing that the Sony State of Play is coming before the Switch 2 releases on Thursday and before Summer Game Fest on Friday, that kind of makes us a little So, all right. We could actually see a Silksong reveal during the Sony State of Play, which would be mind-blowing. So, maybe it won't be a Nintendo Time exclusive. But I'm still leaning towards, like, we're getting at least some kind of a reveal for Silksong. The game is coming out. It's just taking incredibly long. Resident Evil, pretty much a guarantee. Onimusha trailer. Yesterday, Soaring was telling me that they might do Wolverine. So, you know what? That's on the table now. So, I don't know if we'll get a gameplay. My prediction is probably just that it's going to be like a full-blown trailer, but I don't necessarily know if you're going to get like gameplay that isn't like a exciting set piece that's in the game type of thing. If we got a gameplay trailer, that would be impressive, but I just don't see that happening. At least not for the initial reveal. You'll see a lot of gameplay, but it won't be like you're playing the game. It'll be just like a collage of like really cool shit happening type of thing. But I would love to be wrong. But I think Wolverine trailer probably on there. Let's see. I think we're probably going to see. There's so many things now. Well, I think probably Street Fighter 6 content. Probably another DLC announcement. So we'll say a DLC reveal. Let's see. What else? There was that game that was announced from, was it Naughty Dog? I don't know if it was Naughty Dog. What was that? What was that one that was, here? Naughty Dog new game. Intergalactic or something like that. Yeah, Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet. So this was announced with a trailer in engine, supposedly. And it was supposed to be a pretty big thing that they were working on. Basically their new Last of Us, type of effort where it's like a lot of work's going into it. So I want to say we'll get another teaser for that. I think we're getting another Intergalactic another teaser. I think we're gonna get another trailer, actually. Probably something that expands on the game a little bit. Let's see. There, State of Play edition. I don't know what else. Because I want to be able to look back on these. Like, I know I can't do gift subs or points or anything like that, being a, non-affiliate streamer. And I don't have Maximilian Dude fuck you money to, say like, yeah, I'm gonna give away like 6,000 gift subs. But I do want to kind of be able to come back to this and be like, aha, here's what was announced, here's what wasn't, here's what we missed, here's what we were blindsided by. Let's see, the Square new RPG reveal, probably Tactics, because that was teased and then kind of, or not really teased, but just, the usual like, oops, I shouldn't have said anything moment. So we talked about that yesterday. It could be Final Fantasy Tactics. I was like, maybe not, but maybe now. This is on the table. Let's see. What was some other stuff? Well, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft put KI on either or Switch or PS5. Just because, like, at this point, it kind of makes sense. They did just let KI Gold get released on Switch's Virtual Console. So I could see them trying to, like, cash in on a few more sales. KI is weird because, like, development has basically stopped. The studios have kind of moved on to other things. And it's just like they did a last minute push of some bug fixes and some very, very minor content stuff. I think it was last year. And like, that's kind of all it's really been talked about or anything with Killer Instinct. I would imagine that while it wasn't a sales success, it's probably the most like devoted game I think right now that Microsoft has. Like the fan base is going to show up if Microsoft makes another Killer Instinct game. Like the Revival, in my opinion, was a success. Killer Instinct 2013 is a damn good fighting game. Easily like as good as any fighting game on the market today, even in my opinion. It hasn't aged at all. And the graphics are still pretty damn good. So, I'm not saying it needs more content, more fighters, whatever. Like, honestly, it's kind of fine as it is, as a package. And honestly, if they're going to do more Killer Instinct, I'd rather see them make a new Killer Instinct than to come back to 2013. And I say that as, I love Killer Instinct so much. You have no idea. Some of my best gaming memories are with Killer Instinct. I still have my Killer Cut CD somewhere. And I actually, I still own my Black Killer Instinct cartridge. I had KI Gold, sold it. KI Gold was just kind of disappointing. Like I played the crap out of it because I played all my fighting games on my N64 like crazy, but yeah, I mean, it was not the arcade game. But not bad for what it was. Looking back on it in hindsight, it's actually really impressive that they managed to get KI2 working on the N64. But comparing it to the arcade game, I mean, it's clear that there's a difference. It's not an arcade port in like the highest, like it it's missing so much. But they were able to make it work, just like they did on the Super NES. They somehow managed to take Killer Instinct Arcade and make it feel like you had Killer Instinct Arcade at home, which is really impressive, all things considered. Even the Game Boy port of Killer Instinct is not that bad. I mean, it's a Game Boy game, but like, it's kind of amazing what they kept. Considering it's 2 buttons. How do you do a combo system with 2 buttons? Well, yeah. And the art and everything, like they managed to capture all that. So kind of wild. I own that game too. But I always wanted them to to keep going. Like, and to be honest, like I would love to have KI 1 and 2 released for on PC, and just other platforms even. A dream of Killer Instinct of mine, about all the Killer Instinct things I could ever wish for, outside of a new Killer Instinct game, is I want to see the beta version, or I guess you call it beta version, but the unreleased version of KI 2 for the Super Nintendo. So the story goes, how true this is, I don't know, but I believe there's some truth to this. I don't know how finished this is, but supposedly there is a fairly finished version, not 100% complete, but like a basically pretty much done version of KI2 for the Super Nintendo. And it got canceled at the last minute, just like Star Fox 2, because Nintendo was afraid that it would cut into the sales of the N64 stuff. And as we could see years later, Star Fox 2 is pretty good, but like, any good buzz it would have had is long gone. Everybody remembers Star Fox 64, nostalgically anyway. But if KI 1 and 2 are on your Super Nintendo, even if they're not arcade perfect, like getting people to jump to your supposed, N64 version, maybe be harder. Back then, I don't really know, but supposedly it's sitting in one of the Stamper Brothers, piles of goodies, but old rare guy, type of stuff. But I mean, honestly, it's probably gonna never see the light of day. I would be shocked if it ever did, but it's a dream of mine. It's a dream of mine. It's kind of like the Nintendo PlayStation console. It's one of those things that you don't think exists until one day some dude finds it in his dad's closet and goes, "What is this?" So realistically, by the time anybody ever sees what it actually looks like and the ROM appears somewhere, it's probably going to be like some grandkid that's going to find it in one of the rare guy's closets and be like, "What's this, Grandpa?" "Oh, it's a Super Nintendo cartridge. Want to see what's on it?" And then he films it for TikTok version 200 or whatever. And I was going with that. Anyway, all that to say, I love Killer Instinct. Absolutely would love to see it on a Switch or a PS5. Let's see. What else do we think probably could be maybe a new God of War? I could see a God of War announcement. We'll have a prediction of that. But I don't think it's going to be Kratos. I think it'll be Atreus. I think it's Atreus, like that. Atreus. I actually don't know how to spell Atreus. But anyways, here. Boy. There you go. Main. Boy MC. Maybe. Probably a new Pantheon. Maybe Egypt. Could be Egypt or something like that. That might be too easy for them to do. They might pick something else like Mesoamerica or something, but yeah, I could see a new God of War teaser. It's been a while. Probably not Horizon. They did just do the remaster for Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Forbidden West was a PS5 launch title basically. And they had the Lego Horizon, so they've had a lot of Horizon lately. But the God of War, that's been a few years now. Ragnarok. You haven't really heard much about God of War since the launch of the PS5. So, I mean, I guess maybe Horizon could get something, but I'm more willing to bet on a God of War than on a Horizon game right now. Yeah, I don't know. What else could we be seeing? Killzone? Nah. It'd be nice if Sony had like a collection of some of their older titles. Even like some reveals for like for their online services would be nice, but I don't see that happening. So yeah, I don't know. We've covered quite a few things that could have been or could be in the state of play. Like I said, probably no new Call of Duty this year or anything like that. So the Battlefield fits. The GTA 6, maybe a GTA teaser. I don't know. Maybe that could be something. But Rockstar, I don't know if Rockstar, is really, because they just put out another teaser trailer for GTA 6 because of the delay. So like, I don't see them really rushing to do another one for the state of play. Maybe the same trailer just to kind of reiterate that yes, we are supporting the PlayStation, but like, I don't know. I would probably say for the state of play that there might be some Microsoft announcements, to bring over some more Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda type games to the Switch and the PS5. But that's kind of like a duh. They'll probably do something like that anyway. Probably not the Ghost of Tsushima sequel. Probably not going to see that. But we could see. What was it called? Ghost of. There. Yeah, Ghost of Yote. Probably not going to see much about that. We might though. We might, because that does seem like one of the bigger games this year. So maybe a new Ghost trailer. Damn it. But yeah, these aren't really like crazy stuff. I suppose if Square Enix is back in play with something like FF Tactics, and it is state of play, maybe a new Kingdom Hearts? We'll say info because I'm not sure if they'd go full-blown teaser, trailer, any of that kind of stuff. But I could see it. A new Kingdom Hearts for sure. I mean, I bounced off hard off of Kingdom Hearts after the first game. It just got too confusing to really kind of keep up with. And, while I love the combination of the Disney and Square type stuff, it always just felt way more full of itself than it, probably ended up being. I don't know. It's hard to explain why I just don't really find it that exciting to care about Kingdom Hearts. But every time a new Kingdom Hearts game comes out, I'm always like, I see. Don't ask me why, because I genuinely don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Like right now, it's kind of all I'm thinking. I mean, we're probably not going to get anything FF7 remake related. Yeah. Yeah, I guess probably not much else. Like, I think we're probably pretty good on this list. Obviously you could maybe see some new Astrobot or something like that, but I don't see it. I don't even know if there's going to be like a Ghost of Yote trailer, because like that's why there's question marks at the end of these, because these are kind of like maybe like these are even less likely than pretty much anything else on this list. I guess I'm kind of at that point now with the gaming industry where I'm just like, I don't really know where to go with this. Like, what else could really be coming out? I mean, obviously you're gonna get reviews like the Sonic game, racing game. We'll probably have some stuff to it, or like they did an announcement that said that there's not going to be like any Ubisoft some stuff. So yeah, that's kind of wild. But Ubisoft as a company is going through some really hard times right now. And Electronic Arts just announced that they're laying off a bunch of people and cutting stuff back on their side. So like that new Black Panther game that got canceled. So hello, Brace for Haste. How are you doing? How are you doing? You don't know where I'm from? Well, it's the first time I've seen you in my channel, but you might have followed me from somebody's raid. I definitely appreciate that. You came in and said hi. Do you know Demon Chuckle perchance? Maybe that's where you came in from. Well, that's awesome. So we're talking predictions for the Sony State of Play and Summer Game Fest and stuff like that. So let's see. This is what we got so far for a list. Yeah, let me see if I can kind of make it a little longer. So it's kind of what we got so far. I don't really know what else to put on here. Kind of running out of ideas. What would you like to see? Like, what's a game you've been hoping that would get announced? I bet they'll probably have a Metal Gear trailer. And definitely one last trailer for Death Stranding 2. That's my guess. They'll probably have one last mega trailer for Death Stranding 2. Since that is like the big summer game for Sony. The Metal Gear 3, or Metal Gear Delta, I should say, trailer. That's probably going to be there, yeah. I don't know. At this point, this list is pretty long, so I'm not really sure what else I can really add to this. That's okay. A lot of this stuff is going to cross over with the Summer Game Fest stuff anyway. So, a lot of these announcements are going to be the same. So that's why I'm kind of like thinking of stuff that's going to be more like Sony exclusive, like God of War or something like that. But I don't know. Yeah, I think this is probably good enough for the list. So I think right now we're gonna save that, and then come back to this tomorrow after the State of Play. See what got announced and see what matches on this list, and then Summer Game Fest on Friday. I think by Jove that will be good for that. All right. And then we were on the oh shoot. I did not mean to close that one. Close my creator dashboard. Ooh, Tales of Games. Honestly, I'd go with that. New Transformers game would be really nice, but they announced one last year and it got canceled already, which I was kind of disappointed with. So I was kind of like, what? Already? But yeah. Let's see. Oh gosh, what was it called? Let's see here. Yeah, Transformers Reactivate. This was a couple of years ago. The Game Awards.
This ain't working. We should melt it down for ammo. And we're live.
Come on, big guy.
Sequencing at 17%. Loading memory core now.
It's all the same. Only the names will change.
Yeah. Probably gonna get DMCA from this. Yeah, this was Summer Game Fest, right at the end of, or not the Game Fest, the Game Awards. So this has been right at the end of 2023. And then they showed this trailer, and it was the only thing they ever showed from this game. And then when people were talking about it, you know, like when is it going to come out and stuff like that, it was kind of quietly canceled.
Let's get lucky.
Which is kind of a bummer. He's being held together with duct tape. The audio split? Yeah, I do have my audio split. I'm not really worried about it, to be honest. I was just, you know, making light of the DMCA song on it because, of course, you know, there's always one of those types of songs in these trailers now. But yeah, this one, unfortunately, it never went anywhere. And I think that's the last Transformers game trailer that I've seen. Sheesh. I think, yeah. I think this is the last Transformers game trailer. I mean, the Hasbro Kids stuff they haven't really been making any of that either. So, yeah, we haven't had like a new Transformers game, I think, since Devastation. Which, unfortunately, you can't even buy anymore because they took it off the market. So that's kind of annoying. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Devastation, I think, is the last like big Transformers game that came out. So I played my favorite two are still Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron. I played those a couple of years ago on stream. Those were fun. I think maybe because they weren't really popping off in recent years outside the Transformers 1 movie that everyone skipped on. That movie's great too. I mean, I have some issues with it, but it's still a really good movie. To be honest, I heard that it was actually more successful on the streaming platforms and stuff. So maybe there's some good news there. You know, maybe we'll see a sequel. Hopefully something. I don't know. It seems like the only thing that's kind of ongoing right now is the kids show Earthspark, which is okay. It's not great, but it's got interesting ideas. But it's definitely a very, very low budget. But yeah, you're right. Transformers stuff hasn't really been doing so great. Oh, you did, huh? That's awesome. Yeah, truthfully, my biggest issue with the movie is twofold. The first one is that the Quintessons are just kind of absent, except for that one scene where Sentinel Prime is talking to them, which is weird because, you know, they're supposed to be like swarming the surface of the planet. And then the other thing is just, you know, Megatron's like, just how quickly he goes like down that path of bad, was just kind of very abrupt. But you know, like it's not meant to be super deep, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, Earthspark is weird. You didn't like that they were crabs and not octopus, like. Yeah, they didn't look too much like the show. I don't know. Quintessons are always kind of weird. So I don't know. Like the expanded Transformers universe is kind of its own like brand of strange. Like the Sharkticons and what's there's that planet with like giant people on it, and yeah, it gets weird. There's a lot of really weird stuff that happens in the Transformers universe. It's probably for the best to keep it very simple. There's Cybertron, and there's a war on Cybertron, and we're good. That's all you really need to know. Oh God, yeah. What was the one comic book, I think it was, where one of the Transformers, there was one of the Decepticons, ends up like trying to actually be pregnant with like a human fetus or something. It's so weird. Like, I'm like, this is an actual storyline in a Transformers comic book? What the fuck? And as far as I'm aware, it never went anywhere. They just kind of dropped it after that. But I was like, oh, okay. But you get stuff like that, you know. So there's what was the one where Starscream falls in love with a little girl? That was weird. Scorponok, right, that one. Yeah. I don't know. There's always some really cool stuff in the Transformers universe, so it's easy to overlook the really weird stuff. You know, so I don't know. Personally, my favorite version of Megatron is still the Transformers Prime Megatron. He's just awesome. He's a ruthless jerk, but he loves his job. I know it's not the one where he possesses a little girl. It's one of the anime ones where like I don't even know how to explain it, but like, yeah. It's just a Japanese schoolgirl and he's all hanging out with her, and I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, I don't know. Transformers stuff is like I said, it's yeah. But I could tell you're a deep enough fan like me to know these like weird references. And if you told normal people, people who don't really watch Transformer stuff, they'd be like, huh, yeah. So that's a thing, huh? Yeah, that's a thing. Uh, but all right, so Game Awards stuff is done, and State of Play stuff is done. So I think it's time to move on to finishing up the Horde Game Awards stuff that I started watching yesterday. Let's see here. I think we can skip. Wow, that's a visual. Flashbang. Alright, let's see what's going on with this thing. Yeah, it could have been Armada. Yeah, it could have been Armada. It might have actually been Armada, because I remember the design looking very similar to Armada's, where they're like heavily, overly like bulky and everything. But I don't know. I always consider, like, the way I've always compartmentalized it is like every version of Transformers is its own thing. like, I don't believe in the idea of like a shared canon universe or anything for any of them, because like the comic books are their own thing, and in the comic books themselves, like depending on the company and the writers and all that, they're kind of their own thing, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So like, it's easier for me brain to be like, yep, that happened in Armada, and that's fine. it can, you know, it happened in Armada, and then we're moving on. You know, or Headmasters, or you know, any of those kind of things. So, but yeah, I'm about halfway through, to be honest. You can watch the rest, you know, from yesterday. It's just indie stuff for the most part, but there are some interesting reveals in here. A lot of Resident Evil clones and stuff, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, we're gonna fire this up. See what we got. This is basically Repo. Yeah, this looks like Repo. Yeah, I don't see a lot of people playing this one. But you never know. Like, I never heard of Repo until every streamer in the world started playing it. A lot of these do have some demos, so certainly some of these I'm going to be checking out.
Soil. Thou peel away my flesh. I can smell your stench. And there too, a poison, perhaps a mere brawl.
Another eyeball.
I tread tenderly within the Carpathia. My ambition to live only with love in my heart. What can a man want more than the hand of an innocent flower? The void furnished my Elena. I will manifest an eternal pain on the bound who betrayed me. I will destroy this realm and the next. Not a flame should flicker in the darkness that I will bestow. If a man's love cannot linger in a world this putrid, then the world must endure the beast that is born on the cloak of nothing that trails in his wake.
Okay. This looks weird. Yeah. Not really feeling that.
Let's continue this world premiere train, and let's take a look at 10 more trailers. With first off, let's take a look at Tormentor, which is basically Manhunt combined with Twitch. Let's take a look.
We meet again at last. You'll love what I have prepared for you.
Why is she wearing that? Okay.
Yes. Lead on me.
The fuck?
You really weren't in a hurry, were you? Get down to business. The stream has lasted for far too long already, and our sponsors are gonna leave soon.
Don't make me laugh. You don't exist without me.
This looks like one of those old Xbox 360 games.
Sleep sweet.
Don't forget to scream.
What the fuck? Yeah. That's just weird. Yeah. I don't know, this is kind of weird. Very, very like grindhousey, I guess. Spyrit Walker. All right, we got puzzles. Is this VR? Just kind of weird. You don't see your hands ever. Nah, it's not VR. The problem with a lot of the trailers I've seen in this showcase is that they don't really like communicate what the game actually is about. Hello. Close your eyes, chat. Don't be spoiled by the temptress. Like anime Blood Rain.
Could have just let it rest. But I guess it wouldn't be like you to let something go.
Oh, we got another Resident Evil. Whoa.
If I were you, I'd be more worried about how to get inside the castle.
I mean, that's kind of a cool visual, but like...
I'll save her. And we're going to go far away from here.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Far away from you.
Vampire Huntress Lament of the Sun. So it is Blood Rain. Oh, it's an anomaly game. Yeah. June 2nd. So that actually just came out.
Mumsy? Where are you? I don't remember this part of the house. That must be Mumsy. What a scary, scary nightmare.
That was Cheeseworld, or as Grandpa Jung would call it, Dark Forest of One's Soul. Itsy bitsy tiny glimpse.
Yeah, I
of
don't
my
think so either.
upcoming, perplexing game called Bad Cheese. Dear Horror Game Awards fans, this creation is a very personal one. Please expect a mousy torn between his abusive daddy and all sorts of mouse demons. Do you want to try a slice? Wish it now, play a demo, and play it this summer.
It's Steamboat Willie.
Spider legs. Maybe I'll hang around the house and answer will come.
I love how every time something goes public domain, somebody's like, let's make a horror version of this.
I didn't panic.
Alright, you're looking for a statue?
In the scale of Harry Potter 1 through 7, what thickness is it?
You can see him. Oh, this is cool. This is kind of funny.
Green bottle, it says storm.
Stop describing the green bottle! Oh, hang on.
Open. Open. Come on.
It doesn't.
Oh, I see him! Yeah, he's coming! I shocked him!
Run, I'll flash him. Keep him busy.
Hey!
Okay, I think I got it.
Please, 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 please.
I'm almost there, I'm almost there.
Examining it.
Gotcha, there you go.
Yes! Yes! Wrong!
What?
Can you turn on the light?
Right, though, I forget.
Okay, now take that left or right. Turn, go down. No, go through that doorway. Turn around, turn around, turn around.
Flashbang him, flashbang him, flashbang him.
Where?
No, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh dear.
I have no idea. Two-player co-op. There's a big ass spider over there. Eyes on the exam? Oh my gosh. I'd fail it. Hell is a state of the soul. Wow, this one actually has budget.
Why? What's wrong? Is my son okay?
What I want is inside you, little moth.
So it's like Amnesia, maybe? I mean, it looks cool.
I am Natalia Asensio, Grand Mistress of the Night Council, And I am not afraid.
Probably something worth checking out.
I'm glad you accepted my invitation.
Wow, this is claustrophobic. What is that? Join me with the dwellers in the depths. Oh.
You've always been my favorite student, you know.
Okay. That was genuinely disturbing.
Last Chance Market, take 1.
At Last Chance Market, we know how difficult it is to keep mouths fed in these uncertain times. That's why we've partnered with local suppliers to bring the untapped bounty of Ling Forest to you. Whether you're looking for free-range eggs, bacon, or the catch of the day, you can always find Ellie's products smiling at you from our shelves. In a hurry? Swing by our new to-go station and grab an elk burger so fresh, you might have to chase it. So come to Last Chance Market, and we'll hunt down what you're craving.
Cut, I guess. Anyway, Stephanie, I was wondering if...
The fuck?
Clean up needed at checkout.
As it must be like werewolves or something.
The world premiere horror trailers just keep coming. And we've got some more for you now, kicking off with Korayama, which is a classic style Japanese horror set in a very creepy town shrouded in mystery.
Oh, it's giving me like Fatal Frame vibes. Oh, let's see here. Okay. So, like, not really sure the point of the singing when the character's just walking around a little bit. And, like, okay, I have to say this, like, I know I have an OLED, so blacks are really black, but, like, I'm looking on my LCD screen where OBS is, And even there, like, these trailers are very dark. I don't know if it was just like an encoding thing, or if these trailers were actually just that dark to begin with, but I'm kind of amazed at how little I can see in some of these trailers. Kind of weird, but I mean, they're not all that bad, but like some of them are just like so dark that you cannot tell what's going on.
This doll is really creepy. Is this the house? It looks like it's falling apart.
It's a miracle we found such a big house for so little money. And in such a quiet place.
This doll is really creepy.
Are you the one who opens the door to Serenityville?
This isn't funny! Mom, open the door!
Calm down. Breathe. It's just a doll, Tom.
That could be pretty creepy. Is this like Limbo or Inside? I love those games. Okay, that looked kind of cool, actually. That definitely reminded me of like Limbo or Inside or like Little Nightmares.
Amanda!
They break you. They mark you.
Amanda!
Stop it, Ray!
Tell me what's going on. What's happening?
Stop it, Ray!
Are you fucking crazy?
Please,
Stop!
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 Ray, I don't know. I don't do this on purpose.
Amanda! Drop the screwdriver! Amanda! Stop!
His voice acting is so bad.
He's just sick. I won't let anything happen to you, Maddie. Mommy is going to take care of everything.
Tell me what's happening. Are they going to hurt Mommy? Don't let them.
Mommy won't let you get hurt. They won't hurt you.
What in the hell is going on with you? Your family is here. Where's your fucking mind gone? Amanda! You're acting insane, damn it! Answer me!
Damn it! Why aren't you answering me? What is the sound effects? Almost like a isometric Resident Evil. That has potential. Yo. True Nightmare Roadside Cafe. July 21st, 2025. That definitely looks like a good streamer game. Another one of these. There. Damned 2. There was a Damned 1?
If you're enjoying the show tonight, don't forget to use the hashtag #TheHorrorGameAwards over on social media to share your thoughts about our lovely horror games and our world premiere exclusive trailers, which we have loads more of for you right now. We're going to jump back in with Liminal Point, another classic survival horror with a psychological edge. Woo, let's take a look.
So it's going to be like Backrooms? This definitely has a Resident Evil vibe. I like this. Holy shit. All right, I'm going to be honest. That was I'm gonna be honest, that one was actually really cool. Like, I got real quiet there just because I was like soaking in that atmosphere, because that was a vibe, man. Like, there have been there's a half an hour left of trailers, which is wild. This is 2.5 hours long. Oh my gosh, I wonder why I stopped watching yesterday. I've watched a ton of these trailers, and I think that one right there is probably the most Resident Evil coded. Like, there's like, what was the one that it looked just like a Resident Evil clone, 0 Point or something like that, right? Patient Zero or something, but like that one looked really cool. There's been a couple others that have gotten kind of close to that RE vibe, but that was almost like a little bit of Silent Hill tossed in there, but like that was very Resident Evil. That is the vibe of like what it felt like to play RE1 and RE2 and RE3 way back in the day. So that one definitely looks like something to check out. Almost thought she was saying 1998. 1998. 1998. 1998. 1998. 1998. 1998. 1998. Tic-tac, 12 o'clock.
こんなに寒くなったのは初めてだ。
can't promise nothing, but if I crash, I apologize in advance.
模索よ、もう帰る時間だ。
Another Japanese horror game. Eyes. Eh. I don't know why, but this feels like it has Rick and Morty vibes to it. Hold on to your dicks. Wow. Alright, that's not cool and all, but let's skip that. Mega Not. Demos available now.
The third moon? I want to draw this in my notebook.
Don't answer the door.
I don't see anyone.
Okay. It was aliens. Ow.
Voices. Screams drawing.
The feedback from that.
Better use the pendulum.
Looks like that's potential. I'm getting sleepy. Very sleepy.
So now we've made it to the penultimate group of trailers, and I know what you're thinking. The show's almost over. Don't worry, it's okay. We've got an amazing group of trailers still. So let's take a look at a wonderful trailer bestowed to us by the wonderful folks over at Bloomhouse Games. Let's go.
What do we got? Don't say there's something new and then not actually show it, because that's frustrating. Interesting. She got like...
Our family is cursed.
Whoa, that ass.
There's something unsettling about this island.
Kind of an interesting art style, though.
Commander, your squad has failed the objective. Mace commanders do not fail. Commencing redeployment. Initial assets will be limited. Success depends on how well you develop and adapt them. Issue your commands. They will interpret them to the best of their limited understanding. They are humans, after all. Do not be alarmed by their screams for help. All casualties are deemed acceptable, as long as the objective is successful. At the end of the day, if they perish, you can always start anew, better prepared and more experienced than before.
I don't want to play like this.
Okay. Definitely more RE vibes. This has cool art.
I think being scared makes you feel alive.
Horror games were like a bonding experience for me and my friends.
It makes you live this trauma.
Putting that through the horror lens, dialing it up to 11.
And of course, I always love the viscera.
I think I got killed.
Seeing decapitation, seeing heads exploding.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh my God.
I literally jumped up out of my seat and like slammed the pause button.
I think horror in video games kind of goes back to like the beginning of video games.
The explosion of the video game craze hit us in 1983.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty rough for back then.
Scariest game in the arcades. It was so good.
Will this popularity last is the question. Well, the makers of video games are gambling that it will.
The label survival horror came in '96.
Resident Evil, Biohazard. Oh, that's a scary game.
But then everyone tried to understand what was the precursor.
Now we were like, we really got to finish this thing. We were scared to death.
サイレントヒルっていう企画ができた時に、あ、このタイトルであれば僕はゲーム音楽っていうのを変える。
The publisher had to pull out of the contract, and we were like, okay, what do we do? What do we do?
It was a deeply emotional thing to write at the time.
You know, it felt like something that was made by people that are hurting.
Because I'm gonna get choked up about this.
This is so much more than I realized it was going to be.
We're into this era of digital storytelling where we have the ability to inject some of that reactivity and that life back into things.
What if we break that rule? What happens if we do that?
Video games are causing violence, and I'm like, oh yeah? I'll show you.
They really like twisted the nipples of horror games.
Okay, we're doing something good there.
Talk about identifying what scares gamers the most.
I'm just like sitting by my friend going,
The emotional plane that you have is a first-person emotional response.
It causes me to feel that thrill or that fear or that light.
It's almost more frightening when you have hope.
これをできるだけ両方味わいたいというか。
Yeah, okay, there's a sweet spot there. Let's push on this one.
I love this. I want to see more of it.
Oh my God, I gotta get out, I gotta stay alive, I gotta get out, I gotta stay alive.
I mean, I think it's pretty simple.
we're gonna scare ourselves to death.
Might as well go big or go home. Just make it ridiculous.
And here we are. It's the final round of trailers. What a night we have had. But there is still more to come. And we are kicking off this last group of trailers with one of the horror games that I am probably most anticipating coming up in the near future. A classic survival horror style game with pixel art and live action cutscenes. It's Tenebrae Somnia. Take it away.
Oh, that's just that game with Susie the Sphere Hunter.
What was the price you paid to be perfect? Humans are scared, and they call this fear evolution.
Out here, Mr.
Carter, and I'm not staying out here. Jesus, will you put that thing away? Wait!
You gotta break out of that head of yours, Mick. Talk to Sarah.
What you did wasn't enough. You have to violate his grave.
Since I got back, I've been shot at, half drowned, frozen. I died. I came back in time.
I mean, you know how it sounds. The stress and everything. It's probably just...
In my head, I know.
Jesus, this is you. You killed that man. Psychosis is always a risk in treatments.
Say the patient attacked. Got the DI's gun. The caretaker eyes me with a look of disgust.
I told you to leave.
But I'm here for a bloody funeral.
Are you deaf? I said get lost.
If there's one thing I hate, it's pompous, self-righteous, hypocritical... Okay, that felt good.
Drop it now. Talk later.
So you can dump me in the reservoir again? I hold the flame under the rag until it lights.
Not gonna do you no good, boss.
You bastards!
Did you know that per volume, the insect brain has 10 times the quantum matter of mammalia?
This thing could really take me back further. How far, I wonder? You're not even human anymore!
I'm better than human.
Annie!
I am a god.
I jumped the car back in Breaker's Cut. Told myself I'd never come back. Oh well. Here I am.
Gaia, what are you doing?
We need to burn it.
Are you crazy? There's people in there!
If that thing gets out, we're all dead. We have no choice.
Simulation sequence activated.
7. Open up! Open the goddamn door! 4, 3, 2, There's no way that could have grown from the cow cells. Someone must have... What the...
It's still spreading.
That's impossible. Oh my god. Alex.
That looks so cool. Retro Space!
Hey everyone, my name is Bang. I'm the writer and director of Retro Space, the immersive disco punk space horror game. Retro Space is an immersive FPS with a retro aesthetic that attempts to evoke the feel of classic games from the late 90s and early 2000s while creating a completely unique mix in both its theme and its gameplay. Every creature you encounter in Aurora 5 will have a unique look and feel, different tactics and behaviors, and you'll need to find the best way to defeat or avoid each of them if you want to succeed. We also have some helpers in our journey, strange characters who will stand beside the player and open up new gameplay opportunities for them, like upgrading weapons, mutations or gadgets. The story of the game will be told mainly through environmental storytelling, audio logs and written notes, but there will also be some scripted events to spice things up. One of the key elements of the game is the space station, the Aurora 5. It's a huge place with a central hub area and with several diverse and varied locations which you can explore freely. Our goal was to make it as real and lived in as possible. The game will be served with a satirical and dark humor, but it will still be a horror game, with some rather dramatic twists, mature themes, and a thought-provoking narrative. Thank you for your attention. We hope our game has sparked your interest. Retro Space is already well under development, and we hope we can show you more about it soon.
That's a pretty good cleaner. Oh, another Resident Evil game. Oh, she's even got the, like, low on health animation. We're almost done. Cute. This looks very visage. This feels like Visage. Oh, Jesus. Still feels like Visage, though.
Oh my god, what a show it has been. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and taking a look at all of these brilliantly spooky horror games that we cannot wait to see more of as the year goes on.
And again, do not worry, we will be returning on Tuesday the 30th of September with the Halloween showcase.
And of course, after that, if that's not enough, we will be returning on the 14th of December for the Horror Game Awards 2025 themselves, the big show. Until then, hopefully this is enough spookiness to tide you over. There's enough games in there to keep you going for quite a while. So please do check them out. Please do wishlist them and show support to the developers. And we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
I mean, he said it, not me. Oh. And some of those were kind of dragging a little bit. I was not as excited about that as I thought I would be. And a lot of like clones of existing horror games, but like I don't know. I'm kind of underwhelmed. Like, a lot of those games looked interesting, but there wasn't that many standouts. There was a lot of them, though. I'm kind of impressed at how many horror games that they were able to find for this. But this was a 2-hour and 33-minute show. And, you know, to be fair, like the first 5 minutes or so, you know. But so even then, it's just a lot. It's just so much. So yeah, I feel like that one's probably just not, you know, that exciting. But I'm glad I checked it out and saw what was out there. There's a couple of games in there. The Demon Spore one that looked cool. I saw a trailer for that last year. You know, that one looked pretty sweet. That Rick and Morty style game, that one looked pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of games like that where, you know, they have some pretty cool vibes or interesting art, you know, things like that. But yeah, for the most part, it all looked like the usual spooky, scenario type stuff that you see, your typical Switch and replay, because they got nothing else to play. So yeah, and out of all the ones I've saw on there, honestly, I think like maybe only a handful seemed like they had, like potential in terms of being like streamer bait. So yeah. Let's see. Well, it's 4:30 at night. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I'm gonna call it a night, get some rest. It's Switchmas Eve. But yeah, a lot of excitement. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do to get my Switch 2. Hopefully I can get one tomorrow. And State of Play is gonna be airing, so we'll be able to watch that tomorrow night and or tonight, I guess you could say. And we'll be able to check out and see how our predictions are going so far. And then Friday is Summer Game Fest. I believe it's Friday. Let me check here. Summer Game Fest is, Friday, June 6th. So that'll be the big granddaddy. And of course there's all the other announcements that will be happening around that time too. So, Xbox Showcase and all sorts of other good stuff. So lots of stuff coming this week to talk about, which is going to be great because, I love talking about things. What was that? People obsessing over Silksong appearing or not. I got distracted by that news. I thought somebody was saying it was canceled, but no, it's just a troll. Anyways. All right. Yeah, this is a pretty good time for me to get some rest. So thanks for coming out, everybody. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. As soon as I find the button here. Yeah.